He's making a list and checking it twice. But it's a list of grievances. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the truth in a minute to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you. Ben Gleib back in studio. Mayhem Miller here as well.
Yeah.
Ben's got a podcast, Last Week on Earth, with, guess who? Ben Gleib. Everyone's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find finer podcasts. Also, The Mad King is the stand-up special. It's available on YouTube as we speak as well. All right, stuff to complain about. And now, these are first world problems, admittedly, but I like some uniformity. I like things to be consistent. I like to know, like I've said thousands of times that I wish every valve in every shower of every hotel I've ever went to was the same valve.
I agree with
So
that.
I knew how to start the shower. Not all bespoke and all different. I've said this about TV remotes in hotel rooms. And I like a world where you go and you fill your car up at one place, and a gallon is a gallon, and then you could go drive to Nebraska and go to another place, and the same gallon would be the same gallon, which would also be the same place across the street. The Chevron, the Arco, Shell Station, everything's the same. And you know what you're getting, right?
Are you getting less than a gallon some places?
Yeah,
No.
I don't understand.
No, I like
I
it.
didn't get the last one.
I like it. Everything would, it's called,
What differences in gas stations are you
You're saying
seeing?
money-wise? You're saying that we should have a uniform price?
I'm saying I like that you can go to any gas station and know exactly what a gallon is.
Oh, I see. That was an example of uniformity.
That's uniformity.
Copy.
I would like it to be that way
In
with the shower.
showers and remote controls.
Right. But I like that I never think. You fill your car all the time and you never think, what if you thought to yourself, I wonder if this is. I mean, the tank says it holds 16 gallons, but this says I just pumped in 31 gallons. But wait a minute. It would fuck you up, right?
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I've got thoughts about hotel showers in a moment, but I want you to finish your point.
anybody who travels a lot has thoughts about hotel showers.
I mean, they're designed by complete morons. Almost every hotel shower these days, they box. There's a little opening in the glass chamber, and it's not on the side where the spout and the knob is. So you have to reach deep into this glass box
Danger zone.
to turn on ice cold water and get yourself soaking wet with ice cold water before it's at the right temperature. You can't turn it on without getting wet, which is the most important element of a shower.
It's like they don't want you coming back.
100%.
Right.
100%. How did they do that and think it's perfect?
Also, if you go to the Home Depot and you look at shower valves, they have 9 different offerings. But if you travel the country, there's evidently 7,000 different offerings because no hotel has the same one. I'd like to live in this world. Can we live in this world? Hot knob, cold knob, you just turn it. You just deal with it. No stick shift, no moving this, no heading toward Mecca. Is it getting hot? Is it getting, I don't know what direction hot or cold is. I'm just saying, back in the day, I grew up in a world where you'd turn the hot on, you'd let the water warm up, and then you'd work in some cold. Seasoned to your tasting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mostly agree with that point. The shifts, the stick shift vibes, no good. Where you have to pull it towards you and then turn it. And you don't even know
always
what
confusion.
mode you're in.
Always confusion.
But I think one knob is better than 2 knobs because it's built in is the adjustment. I'm not trying to be a chemist and combine hot
one
and
knob
cold.
is better than 2 knobs for your home. Because you'll learn your knob at home. But for the road, it's really just we are idiot-proofing this
fair.
shower valve.
That's
With
fair.
saying, yes, it's going to take aesthetically, not as strong as the single knob.
Yep.
but we don't care because we're out the next morning, right? And from a timely standpoint, there's a couple extra seconds of turning the other knob. But from a consistency standpoint, you just know what you're getting every
That's
time.
true. You get full hot and then you're adding cold, whereas sometimes you go all the way hot in a hotel and you have third-degree burns now.
Yeah, and you don't know, and you can't. It's getting hotter. Okay.
And also, almost every hotel on Earth these days doesn't get hot for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
thought
cold
stick
forever.
shift up left, stick shift up left, and then tap it as you want to season in
Is
the cold.
everything tapping to you?
Tappy, like a little bit
all
of
tap for you.
I literally took pictures earlier in my career. It's somewhere on the computer. Dawson will remember it somewhere, but I probably not labeled or mislabeled.
Documented.
They'll say like Spokane, DC, Sacramento. I took a picture of every shower valve on every hotel on the road, and they're all different, and there's 75 of them, which sounds patently insane because you think there would be just sort of one valve, someone would have a monopoly on the valve.
I'm seeing an investment opportunity here for you to just take over the game. Carolla knobs.
Yeah, you've got a wine cooler, a
there you go.
Mangria. I say we do knobs, Carolla knobs.
Exactly
Well, this is all
right.
leading me to somewhere
I had
else.
a feeling.
You had a feeling. I've been out to dinner a lot lately, and I was in New York and stuff like that. I always love going to a steakhouse and ordering a martini. You found the compilation?
Nice.
Yeah. Are they labeled? Are the cities labeled on them? Okay. Well, we're looking at one that doesn't have a city labeled on it, but
It's labeled on the file itself.
This is Atlanta, Boston,
Yeah.
Chicago,
All right.
another Chicago knob, home,
I got
Indianapolis, Milwaukee,
Oh, that one's confusing
Indianapolis.
completely.
all
Napa,
Napa.
Portland.
All right, here's what I'm saying about Portland. Go back to Portland. There is no blue, there's no red, there's no plus, there's no minus. There's just here's a handle. Turn it at your own risk,
Same
dude.
as Milwaukee. There's no. I don't even know if you start left, right.
But here's
are you on
my-
hot.
You're at the
Here's-
saw basement.
Here's my point.
There it is.
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. My junior high, my high school, my grade school, they all looked exactly the same. They had the same tile, they had the same bathroom, they had the same urinals, the buildings were exactly the same. Why is there no uniformity? Why is it all different? Every single place you go to is different, and none of them are what you know. It's not like, oh, that's the one I got from home. Nope, it's all different.
I'm going to guess China.
And then how much water does one waste every year not knowing what it is and having to experiment with the arm in there when it all just runs into the bay?
They don't want you to use a new towel to save the environment, and then they just make you wait 40 minutes for hot water.
Right.
And then once you get hot, it's too hot, and you have to adjust it down for the rest of your life.
Does this keep going, Byron, by the way, or did we get to the end of this? No?
Yeah, there's a few more.
Okay. I didn't even cherry pick them. I just traveled the country taking pictures of bathrooms. And it's like, it's almost uncanny that the Hilton in Boston wouldn't have the one that the Hilton in Sacramento had, right?
Yeah,
but
at least.
they don't even amongst their own brand names, Marriott, the Marriotts would vary. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I also, this is totally a tangent, but related. I met somebody once with the weirdest job. Their job, wait, what's that top button on that one?
That's the point, that you
What
pull
does
it
that
out
do?
and fills the tub or whatever. But I don't know to turn it right or left or up or something you got to pull while you're. It's just
I
like.
just want to think you have to press and pull and turn and tilt. It's all of it.
But what if we did cars where we're like, oh, in this car the accelerator's on the left and we put the brake on the right. And the clutch is in the back seat, and the steering wheel is in the trunk.
It would really cut down on commandeering of vehicles, though.
It would slow down the carjacking, but it would be super confusing every time you got into a new
This
car.
one's just
right?
ugly. They got the red and the blue, but there's marble in the middle of chrome.
Yeah. They're all different.
I'm just sad I don't get to see the reflection of you ass naked taking a photograph.
You're sad about that?
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
what?
okay.
You're always in clothes.
It's very telling.
You're like, yeah, you should be butt naked in at least 2 of these photos.
All right. So none of them are the same, and it's all shit show.
Yep. And it's called American Standard, and it's not standard
There's
in
nothing
any way.
standard.
Nothing standard
Nothing
about it.
standard.
And by the way,
Anything.
I don't like peeing into the urinal that says American Standard on it. I
Yeah,
feel
me
like it's
neither.
unpatriotic.
Yeah,
like,
me neither.
It's like you just took a whiz on an eagle, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm peeing
I'm with you.
looking at American Standard.
That
going,
brand should be American Freak. That's the move for that moment.
Yeah, or it could be like Middle Eastern Standard or some other place
Yep.
that we had beef with, China Standard,
Yep.
you know? But
Yep.
I don't like peeing on the
China.
China, the American Standard.
Yep.
All right, so I like, I've been going out. I was in New York.
You like a martini?
I like a martini and I like my steak. But I never know what martini's showing up. I don't know what size is showing up. Now, they have different glasses. And then there's the one I like. All right, so there's 3 ways we go. We go glass, martini. Then they go, oh, we're going to drop it off. Some places drop the shaker off with it. And you can do a little table side, top it off, you know, some melted ice in there, but, you know, if you like that. Others do the little carafe thing. They'll do a little side martini, and
Side
you can, like,
carafe.
freshen it up, but in a little ice thing. It's very fancy.
Yeah. Pretend it's orange juice while you're getting drunk.
That's right. But always unclear which is what. It's just a crapshoot with the martini. You know what I mean? So I go to a place in New York, and it's also there's an amount issue. It's always a thing. I go to the place in New York. The guy starts to hand me the martini glass, which is the 60s Frank Sinatra style, a little more champagne than martini. And the thing's down 7/8 of an inch from there. I mean, it had a little bit of martini at the bottom of it.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
really?
Which happens. Sometimes they spill it, I think, when they're bringing it out. But the guy starts to, like, the guy sets it down on the table, and I literally just looked at him like,
What is this?
what? And he just looked at me, and he just picked it back up, and he walked back to the bar. I didn't even say anything. But my favorite place is Mastro's, because Mastro's, they give you a nice big martini glass, and they leave the shaker at the table. And it usually give you a nice, strong martini up to the edge, and then they leave the shaker, and the shaker's got enough so you can kind of top it off a little. Some melted
I
ice,
would
but there's
argue a
some in there.
carafe is much better than the shaker because of the melted ice issue, but please go ahead. You like it this way.
I like it this way.
Makes you feel like you're a bartender. You're helping the process a little bit.
tactile, mechanical,
Yep.
spun metal, feeling good. And so
sure.
I go out to Mastro's, and the guy's pouring the thing at the table. You know that move, and then he's kind of shaking it, and now it's just ice, and the glass half full. And then he sets it down, and I go, well, there's nothing in there. And he goes, yeah, well, I leave it here so you can pour. I go, yeah, you leave it so I can top it off, except for it's empty. You just shook it in front of the thing, and the glass is 2/3 full. So somebody didn't put enough in here. And he goes, yeah. And I go, why don't you take it back? I'll put some more in there. And he goes, okay. And he goes and does it. But here's what I'm
And
saying.
you're allowed to be this level of indignant with cocktail prices. I mean, this is probably a $27 martini.
Right. So here's what I'm saying. Why the crapshoot? And martinis, last time I checked, you get a gin martini. It's basically gin with ice and a lemon twist or olives or whatever. There's nothing to it. You know what I mean? So like when you like Beef Eater gin. All right, let's work this out. Beef Eater gin, the restaurant is paying $9 a $7.50 milliliter bottle for
Yep,
it. Really?
yep.
I mean, not $8.75, $6.75. Like,
Yeah.
It's got a classy British guy on the bottle, but it's not classy.
they're not paying. They're paying wholesale, whatever.
That's why it's the guard on the
guard.
bottle.
He's the beef eater.
It's the gin of the guard.
Yeah.
He's not keeping guard of great gin. That's what he drinks, like in his pocket during the
I
shift.
came out with a gin called Pole Smoker, but it just didn't go over.
That's
Ironic.
surprising.
I know. I thought it was a great idea.
Great name.
Yeah. I had a fudge brand called the Fudge Packers. I
Yeah.
thought it would work great for
Yeah, I think
the guys over
sounds
there in
lovely.
Wisconsin and stuff. And nope, didn't work. I don't know what's
that's
up with. I don't know what's
shocking,
wrong
really.
with people. Fudge Packers and Pole Smokers, both of them.
Probably
okay.
pretty popular with beef eaters, though.
I lost a lot of money, but lesson learned.
That's fine.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. It is the bottle cost them $8.
Yeah.
Your martini has $1.21 worth of gin in it, according to them from that bottle. Two things. When the waiter goes to pick up the martini glass that's half empty, shouldn't the waiter look at the bartender and go, I'm not bringing this fucking burnt offering back to that table. The guy ordered a martini. And we could also agree people that order martinis like to have a drink. You know what I mean? This isn't...
It's all alcohol.
It's all alcohol. You know what I mean? Ironically, the martini that's always filled is the cappuccino martini. Those ones are always
Espresso martini.
espresso. Sorry, the espresso one is always all
To the very top.
Every chick who orders one is spilling it when she's trying to, because it's
And it's
always
still filled.
all the way.
They can spill it, it's still
they
to the
turn
top.
it over and beat on it
And
like a
it's- and
ketchup
it's
bottle.
fully up there.
What I'm saying is when the bartender hands the half a martini to the waiter, shouldn't the waiter go, just fucking open that gin bottle and dump a little?
Yeah.
Just
Only
dump a
for
little.
his
Like, I
own-
don't.
so he has to walk less.
I got to
'cause
get tipped by
Yep.
this fucking person,
And then they're going to tip him out, too.
and I don't want to bring the half, whatever. But also, where is the science? So here's what I'm saying: the person that's making the martini, are we at this point? Do we need a graduated martini cylinder? So you just go, this is it. This is, you ordered a martini, this is what you're getting. I get half a glass sometimes. Don't get me started on Utah. It's like we don't do, we can't serve more than a hummingbird's beak of booze. So you're not.
Only on a Friday before sundown.
Yeah, you just ordered a martini. You're not getting a martini. But wild variation.
They put the teeny. Okay, sorry.
This person could not measure it out to such where the guy poured it at the table. It was halfway up the glass and the thing was empty. Now they're supposed to go all the way up and leave you some.
Yeah.
What is the bartender doing? Why don't they know? That's my whole thing is why wouldn't you feel like after 6 months of you making martinis, you would have a pretty good vibe for like what the pour was? Like, do you think, like, I used to be in the trades. You'd look at a thing and you'd go, oh, we got to grout that we got to grout up that bathroom stall now. We got to, the shower stall's got to be grouted out. Those guys knew how much grout to sort of cover. They didn't make a shitload of grout and have it all dry up, or a little bit of grout and only get through like 4 tiles.
You're not showing up to the site without enough grout. That would be horrible for your own life.
No. Out of grout, you're out.
Yeah.
I had the
You're
sign.
out
I saw the bumper
of
sticker
grout.
on the guy's truck. What I'm saying is you kind of learn, working.
Well, maybe
in
they're
trades
overwhelmed.
and-
Maybe they're very busy, and the guy's making he's
Isn't a martini kind of what you're doing? Like, why don't you just I would have a thing. I think I would have it within a teaspoon from my 1 to my 1,000th that day. Like, just in terms of the amount, I would always go a little heavy because okay, this guy's ordering a martini, he wants to fuck a drink. Like,
maybe
he's
it's
here
because of the shaker, because you can't see in it. They're kind of going blind a little bit.
Yeah, but you're like 1,000, 2,000.
But also, you're a bartender, and you go, this person ordered a martini, you pour half a martini, you go, here you go, Bob, take that over to the table. Like, Don't you know that guy's going to go, where's the rest of
And that's not
like, what?
I'm a martini drinker too. That's not the only issue. I like a very dirty martini. I always say very dirty, filthy.
Guy
And then
stirred it
comes-
with his dick.
Well, that's a little too filthy. It's
you said very.
Well, let me clarify. To a degree, I like it very filthy. And it comes, and it's like, I shouldn't have said comes, and it arrives, and it is like, tastes just still straight vodka. I go vodka martini usually.
Right.
And there's no dirty in it. And I have
Yeah.
to tell them, please bring me a side thing of martini juice, martini olive juice. They're having to run back and forth.
Well,
what do they think I mean by very
They're
dirty?
dumb. They're dumb. They're checked out, and they don't care.
Right.
I'm just
Well,
saying
that's your answer, too.
the variation is such where we need a template now.
There's no excuse. It's blasphemy.
Blasphemy. Dawson's been sitting on that for 14 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
As a former bartender, can I weigh in on,
Yes,
on some
I
of
would.
these reasons?
I want to know.
A martini glass, a typical martini glass, holds far more than you should pour
Yes.
in a typical martini. So, like a half full martini is actually a standard pour. Now, it's obviously ridiculous to do that. So now most bartenders pour enough of a martini to fill the whole glass, but a martini glass, when being delivered to the table totally full, spills the whole way. That's why they keep it in the shaker, and then they pour it at the table. Then there's 6 to 7 ounces what a martini glass holds in that shaker, but they put 4 in there as they bring it over, and then they give you the rest to serve yourself.
Yeah. There's methods to everyone's madness, and it's not all... I'm not filing a lawsuit. What I'm saying
Are
is,
you sure?
I know. I thought
You
this
should,
was the
maybe.
opening statement.
don't offer up the martini glass you speak of. I agree. When you get to the top, you got a lot of booze. I'm talking about the 60s style that's more the cup, and when the cup is half full, there's not anything in it. But I'm just saying, as a bartender, you gotta like your booze. You gotta like your customers. You gotta like your customers like the booze. I'd always just be heavy hand because I'd be like, I'm not fucking paying for these bottles. And the one bottle of gin and the one bottle of vodka, I can get 22 martinis out of this, and I charge $26 a martini. So we're doing good.
Be a little loose on it. I
Yes,
hear you.
financially.
But also,
We'll be fine.
there's a conundrum I don't even understand about martinis, and I enjoy drinking them probably for this reason. But there's like a paradox of martinis because if you drank the amount of alcohol outside of a martini glass that you're having in a martini, you would be plastered and vomiting on the street. But you put it in a classy glass, and suddenly I can drink straight vodka by the pound.
Yes.
How does it happen? There's like 4 shots minimum in a martini, and I'm good. I can have 3 of them.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
I'm at 12 shots.
they used to.
You add a little bit of olive juice, and suddenly your body can handle more alcohol.
They had the 3 martini lunch, man, back in the Mad Men days. Those guys would go out for lunch.
Then they'd go back, and instead of pitching their ad campaigns, they would just sexually harass their staff.
Yes, it was such a better time.
It was a fun time.
Remember,
But why can you get drunk? Why can you drink more alcohol in a martini? I'm stunned by it.
the best time to be alive, pre-AIDS, mid-Coke.
Yeah.
That's the best time to be in America.
Post birth
Mid-Coke.
control.
Pre-AIDS,
Post-birth
mid-Coke.
control.
Yeah, Coke was good for you. No one cared about Coke. They
Got
do it regularly. They'd pull it out at a party, wherever. They didn't think Coke was bad for you.
Yeah.
And AIDS hadn't been invented.
Coke has made a comeback,
Oh, it has.
but ketamine also now is going neck and neck with it.
Coke's back, huh?
Coke's back, but ketamine I think is the drug of choice these days at a party. But people will be like, "Which do you want?" And then there's 2 white powder options. You gotta have a lot of trust with people,
All right. Other thoughts?
Yep.
There was a tragic shooting, another school shooting, and they interviewed the top cop. I don't know. Where is it from? Was he this in Georgia? Wisconsin. Sorry, thanks. They interviewed the police chief, and they're asking questions about, is there a metal detector at the school and stuff like that. And he had a very wise solution for why there wasn't a metal detector at the school where a bunch of kids got shot. We'll play you the clip. But it's an answer, and in this answer lies the problem for every modern problem that is vexing us will be provided in his answer. We'll realize if people think this way, this is what we end up with.
What sort of gun-related policies, if any, were in place at the school, and did the school have metal detectors?
I'm not aware that the school had metal detectors, nor should schools have metal detectors. It's a school. It's a safe space.
All right. It's a safe space. Well, tell that to the 3 dead people who obviously the shooter did not recognize it as a safe space.
Maybe if somebody had told the shooter.
If someone should explain to the shooter that this was a safe space, then those kids would be alive.
This is supposed to be a safe space. It's a place for education.
Yeah, we don't need... schools shouldn't have metal detectors because they're safe spaces. The shooters understand they don't have metal detectors and that they're safe spaces so people don't return fire so they can easily kill people. I agree with him in theory. Schools shouldn't have to have that. So every time I drive underneath one of those walk bridges that go over the freeway, I think, why is there a cage going all the way up and around? And I think... because I think people jump off of those bridges and land on moving cars.
Yes.
And I think to myself, they shouldn't have to have them.
That's true.
But
they do.
They do.
And they throw rocks. They'll also throw rocks.
They'll throw fucking shit on your car. Okay. Yes, you could get hit by a cinder block or hit by a human being. So, which
would you rather, by the way?
I'll go with the human.
Yeah, I think so. Softer landing.
I would like them aesthetically just have a nice railing, but they do not. So here's where the problem lies. A bunch of fucking retards like this guy who gets indignant about what schools should have. That's right. Nobody should this and nobody should that, and schools shouldn't, and kids shouldn't have to live in fear and all that. Okay, that being said, go get some fucking metal detectors, because that's where we're at.
Yep.
I don't like the razor wire around the freeway signs in L.A. It's really depressing to drive and look up in L.A. But somebody keeps graffitiing on the signs, and so somebody had to put razor wire around the signs.
The latest is they steal the 405 or the 110. Like you don't know where the freeway is anymore because the kids are just snatching those.
Well, also just in general, they hide freeway on ramps.
That's what I mean.
It's almost like it's like a escape room or some sort of a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
They really it used to be a big production. You're getting on the freeway. There's huge signs, and now it's like on a residential street, like next to a house. It's a tiny little sign past it. You miss it 3 times.
I do always feel super sorry for those houses.
Yeah,
like when you
horrible.
just go by.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know why the super depressing tableau of the kids' toys in the front of that house that all the fucking diesels are going by all day, every day. All right, so this guy's a police chief. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but he does not. The school's a safe zone where sometimes people get shot.
Like, it's really striking to see him say that in front of that chyron that says 3 dead, 7 wounded.
Yeah.
And also, this shooting has upended a lot of the conventional wisdom of school shooting because this was a female shooter and she used a handgun.
Oh,
so
Ben, I do want to say that Israel should not have to have an Iron Dome.
Right.
They shouldn't.
And they should just not do it. And then receive thousands of rockets a year without any protection.
Israel should be announced they're in a safe space.
You mean in an ideal world? Okay, then let's get rid of it.
I hate
That's a great argument.
Get rid of the
That's a
Iron
great
Dome
argument.
because a country should not have to do that.
You're right. You're so right.
Canada doesn't have an Iron Dome. Mexico doesn't have one. The Netherlands don't. So why does Israel have to do that?
Everything should be the same, regardless of statistics.
Shower valves and countries should all be the same. And no country should have to have an Iron Dome system.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
That's a good point.
I think it should just be kind of what's it called? When everybody gets the same amount of pay for a thing?
Equity.
Right, sure.
Inclusion?
Equality.
Favored nations.
Yeah, I wonder what this guy would think about Iron Dome over in Israel because he technically you shouldn't have to have an Iron Dome.
true.
Is what I'm saying.
Technically, you shouldn't need armies, and then
right.
or police. People should just behave.
You shouldn't need locks on doors of your home.
True. Also, why in the worst areas, like people have homes near freeway on-ramps, is that when the toys are in the front yard?
Yes.
When even in better areas, you wouldn't put the toys in the front yard for safety reasons. But in the worst neighborhood, definitely put the toys in the backyard.
I will riddle you this, Ben Gleib.
Please.
I've passed through a very nice neighborhood and seen the stupid sign that looks like there's a turtle with Down syndrome and a flag, and it says kid zone, slow zone.
Yeah.
Never seen a kid playing stickball on that street.
Never
seen one skateboarding or rollerblading. Never. Only in super expensive neighborhoods. Those kids have outdoor kitchens and trampolines and water slides in their backyard.
Yep.
All the shit neighborhoods where the kids are out in the street on the bikes and fucking running around and playing baseball and stuff, they're doing all that. Never seen one of those signs.
No.
We really,
because
I'd like to go to those neighborhoods and go, listen, Rich Whitey, who are you kidding?
Yeah.
I've not seen your kid on your front lawn ever.
We should do a program where we take the signs out of good neighborhoods, put them in worse neighborhoods. But I think they probably had the signs, and they've just used them as like a bat for a wiffle ball now or something in the front yard.
Or like a shield during a rock fight or something like that.
It's like a gladiator, kind of a shield sword combo, baton combo.
When have you ever driven through Bel Air and seen kids playing on a front lawn?
Never.
Rare.
Kids have rare. It is never. It's
True.
like they have a home theater,
never.
and the backyard has a lazy river in it. Mm-hmm. I mean,
the sign always says slow, children playing. And I think they mean just like all children, not just slow children.
You know what it should say in those nice neighborhoods? It should say slow Mexicans gardening.
Yep.
Yes.
Because that's all I ever see is the guy with the leaf blower and his wife is sweeping the shit up and they're
Also,
pushing this thing.
Did you know gardening is just all leaf blowing? I've just started studying my gardeners because I asked them to stop using the leaf blower by my outdoor table and ping pong table because it's just creating dust. Like a thin 1/2 inch layer of dust. And I look at them and they don't know what to do if they can't use the leaf blower. I want them to like manicure the garden and the plants, and they're just blowing leaves. That's the job. They should just call themselves leaf blowing companies.
I totally agree. And also, it never ends up being gathered. It's like half in the neighbor's yard, half in your pool.
And it's half gathered like in my plants on the floor. They just keep them there.
I think
and they're just plumes of dust spilling around. It's making it worse.
I think that leaf blower is their sort of superpower. It's like their claim to fame. Like they're people that don't have much. Society shuns and looks down upon them. They have
kind of a Ghostbusters proton pack.
There is no status they have, but when that leaf blower, all of a sudden the power of Zeus. You know what I mean? Like the super rich white chick is walking or labradoodle down the sidewalk and they spin around and the person has to like cower and walk across the street and stuff. It's a power.
And it's just a power to be able to also immediately ignore the person employing them.
I wish I had
so
one.
Loud. And then I'll ask them, do you mind turning out for a second? Quick thing. I need you to please trim the palm tree today. And they go, yeah.
They never get into an argument with their wives.
Right.
Except when their wife comes around the corner and goes, hey, you left your Hirachi.
Yeah.
Never an argument.
Yep. This is a fact.
No hassles.
Yeah. I don't understand what's happening with it. It's a problem for me.
They're illegal in Southern California.
They are?
In Los Angeles. Yes,
really?
Yes, I've gotten into this conversation many.
And they're flouting the law to keep these machines.
Yes.
They're illegal, but people are still using them. That's just how it's not enforced.
Well, we got different kinds. We got two kinds of illegal. We got illegal, like you parked your car in a zone for the street sweeper and it said 7 to 10 a.m. and we came by at 8 a.m. and your car was there. That you get a ticket every single time. And then there's somebody's using a leaf blower illegal, which nobody gets a ticket any of the time because it's a brown thing and they don't like the optics of it. So what we do is we go like jaywalking was illegal and then black people turned out did most of the jaywalking, and then they decided it was discriminatory because more black people got jaywalking tickets than non-black, so then they legalized jaywalking.
Oh, you mean crossing the street? I thought you meant
I'm sorry.
the old
Walking like a
Tonight
bird.
Show with Jay Leno segment where he's like, what is this piece of art? Is this a Mona Lisa? What is this? What do you think this is? Thought that was illegal, but we're doing it anyway.
That show, I mean, any show, first off, any show where how dumb Americans are, I'm done now.
Yeah.
Because when they just go out and they open up a map and they go find Mississippi, and Mississippi's labeled Mississippi and they can't find Mississippi, or they go name one founding father or something, nobody can do it.
Name the vice president, they can't do it.
Who did we fight in the Civil War? Why did we fight? So, like, I mean, you could ask one person on Mount Rushmore, just anything, and they got nothing. They got nothing. So I'm done with that. But yes, it is. Leaf blowers were outlawed in '99.
Interesting.
What?
Yes.
What's the reason? Because of the noise?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Pollution, noise, everything. For all the reasons you hate.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it. It just,
We hate
I
it too.
can't, I don't understand it.
But
my pool ends up filled with a whole
Yes.
film of dust also because of this blower.
It's the worst. The worst is when you get your. There's two things. You're like driving home from the car wash and you have to drive through a cloud of soot that this guy's just firing up. They should 100% be illegal. They pollute more than a full-size pickup truck in a year. They pollute that much in 10 minutes because they run off two-stroke oil. They don't have catalytic converters. They're louder than shit, and we're fucked.
I have some two-stroke oil at home as well.
Yeah.
Very effective.
Standard.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Standard.
Called two-stroke.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need a third. But
All right, can we get rid of this? Show me that clip. Show me that cop clip one more time. I want you to... His words are retarded, but pay attention to the sound in the background that starts up in
I
about 10
think you have to say
seconds.
his words are Down syndrome. I
Down
think is the
syndrome
phrase.
words. Yeah.
What sort of gun-related policies, if any, were in place at the school, and did the school have metal detectors?
I'm not aware that the school had metal detectors, nor should schools have metal detectors. It's a school. It's a safe space.
All right, hear the backup beeper
Yep.
in the back. I was awoken by one this morning. Could you imagine this utopia, this simple utopia? No more backup beepers, no more leaf blowers. I would sleep until 4 in the afternoon every single day.
I would love
I don't
it.
know if I'd ever wake up.
No,
they'd go, "Where's Carolla? He's been asleep." You said that 9 months ago. He's still there.
I also love that we just watched again a clip about a school shooting, and you're like, you hear in the background the beeping, and it bothers me in my sleep. That was what was really
Those
bothering
poor kids
you.
not only had to be exposed
They also, in
to
their
this,
trauma,
but
have to hear this. But also, there's another issue here about this police chief. I realize not only is it ridiculous in a world with constant school shootings to be saying we shouldn't need metal detectors, but the one person who certainly shouldn't be saying it is the police chief.
I agree.
He's the guy whose whole job is to do anything to protect the people and keep the safety. So maybe like you can have your politicians saying we're going to pass legislation so that we don't need metal detectors. But the cop needs to say we're putting metal detectors in the morning. We should have done it already.
Well, no, you're right, because the cop's like, you shouldn't
need me to do anything.
to have a deadbolt on your front door, and you shouldn't need outdoor lighting, but that's the times we're living in.
Right.
And by the way, whenever they do those things where they go, what can we do? Like, here's what the police recommend. Okay. All the things the police recommends, I go, don't leave valuables in your car in view of whatever. When you leave the home, turn a light on. Make sure you have a good functioning, high-quality deadbolt on front door. An alarm system helps. Outdoor lighting. You know, all the stuff that you shouldn't have to do. Like, you should be able to climb out of your car, leave your computer on your passenger seat, and go back in the house. You should be able to do that. But that fucking cop would tell you you're a fool if you leave your computer on your passenger seat and you park your car in Oakland, that's on you.
Their solutions are just don't live. Their solutions are, well, all you have to do is don't leave the house. If you do, make sure you're wearing full catcher's equipment.
Yes,
don't bring things with you.
No, here they tell you if you have a fancy watch, you leave it at home. You know, if you're going out, you're driving an expensive car,
Put
make
on
sure
rags. Put on like a homeless outfit.
That's right.
Create the illusion that you're a homeless and you'll be safe from most crimes.
You know, I was going to cut this guy some slack, Joe, because he looks like Mike Singletary.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's Mike Singletary.
Yeah.
This guy, that's not the Singletary.
This frame looks a little bit more like Tracy Morgan.
We need that. Yeah, I need a little more. There's somewhere in between where he looks like Mike Singletary. Yeah, I think that's the Mike Singletary shot. But anyway, Hall of Fame inside linebacker.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears. I don't have to tell you Jews about football.
Also, I don't know if you saw this other clip about this shooting, but the mayor of this town gave a speech, and her whole speech was about how upset she was that she and other legislators have to deal with it. It wasn't about the tragedy. She literally said no mayor should have to deal with this, and no police chief should have to deal with this, or fire chief. And let's try to work for a world where no public official ever again has to deal. It was all about her inconvenience of paperwork and having to make public statements.
Well, okay.
The kids were not mentioned in this speech.
Right. So let's drill down and think about this for a second. No. Okay. So I don't want anybody in charge who even says this is unacceptable. Because that's the new world orders. They go, they do a few things. They go, this is unacceptable. Well, bitch, accept it because it happened 25 minutes ago. So I'm glad that you don't accept it. But it's like saying, it's like me standing on the rubble that was my house after the earthquake and announcing this is unacceptable. You know what I mean? Okay, it happened, and you couldn't undo it. Now, I could have earthquake-proofed my home by bolting it to the foundation, you know, getting out a roto-hammer.
Yeah, there's no way you could have expected an earthquake in the earthquake
Southern California.
Yes,
I'm saying, what is so different a scenario? You can earthquake-proof your home. I used to do it for a living. You crawl under your house, you drill holes in the footing, and you bolt your bottom plate to it with the all thread, and then you shear wall the cripple wall. Yes, we'll call miniature walls cripple walls in that business. You homos are arguing over whether you can say master bedroom or master suite or master whatever. We're still throwing cripple wall down back then. There's all miniature walls in the building world are just called crippled.
What? Yeah. What's the etymology of that?
It's not a full-size wall. It's a crippled wall. It's a miniature.
Okay.
So crippled people are typically smaller?
Yeah.
Well, they're not necessarily born shorter, but eventually they end up in a wheelchair or on those weird crutches that only go as high as your elbow.
Yeah.
Which somehow means you get the full-size crutches, you may be an NFL baller, but you get the weird polio one,
they don't
you
even
are
give
fucked.
You full-size crutches.
Yeah, they don't want. They're like,
they want only heal to a certain degree.
Half crutch.
Yeah. Oh, we got Singletary and the cop together. Let's see if this.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Nailed
All
it.
right. I know. That's what we call a black simile.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand? It's a perfect example of a black simile. I'd like to just be in the press, and I'd be there, and the chick be like, how about metal detectors? And he'd be like, there's no place for metal detectors, and these are schools, and they should be safe zones. During the 85 season, you guys ran a 4-2 or 4-4. Settle an argument. Yeah. Okay. And Richard Dent. Would you say he belongs in the Hall of Fame or not? Do you think Richard Dent should be in the Hall of Fame? I think he should be. Dan Hampton. You want to talk run stopper? Your thoughts?
You remember the Mike Singletary crazy press conference?
Yes.
When he was like, cannot win with him. Cannot play.
Yeah.
I would like to hear him responding like that to the metal detector.
I like Singletary because a lot of guys wear, a miniature crucifix around their neck to show their faith. Mm-hmm. He wears a full size. He would wear a cross the size of the one that Christ was nailed to around his neck.
Kill vampires.
He could kill vampires. Yeah, he could. Some a vampire would recognize.
That's pretty big.
He could hold this thing up. He could ward off a vampire. Most people have crosses where if they're trying to thwart a vampire, the vampire would stop and go like, "What? What is that?"
That just like tickles a little.
Yeah, is that a? I don't know. I can't see
Getting kind of
your
an itch.
Your forefinger's covering up most of it, so I don't know what that is. Is that
Towards a plus sign now.
Is that a lowercase t? Is your name Tom? No, he had a full-size wooden crucifixion hung, and he was a badass. And yes, I would like him to be the police chief of any town.
Well, also, now that you bring up Christ, it brings me back to hotel rooms and standard items, because one of the things that isn't standard everywhere, but closest that you get in a hotel to standard
Gideon's.
is no, that's true. That's the most standard Gideon Bible, but is the soap that they use in most hotels is from the brand Gilchrist and Soames. You do see that everywhere. And wherever I've seen it my whole life, I always just think, really, after the soap company, Gill and Soames underperformed compared to Christ.
Yes.
Christ had a great second chapter.
Great run.
After the soap business.
Yeah.
And Gill and Soames, what have they done? Almost nothing.
Well, give them 3 days. They're dead now.
They disappeared. They seem to have disappeared.
3 days.
We got angry Singletary rant.
Nice.
By the way.
It's about the team. I cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners. I want people that want to win.
Yeah, well, he fucking played hard-nosed ball in the 80s when they did battle, and all he knows is 100% all the fucking time.
What
and
do you think the vibe was next time you saw the team? After that speech.
Not good.
They were like, bro.
They're bummed.
Under the bus.
Right?
Those guys don't care, though. I mean, they're hardcore, and he's more angry at them than they are at him. And
did he get personnel changes after that?
I'm guessing. Well, he got changed.
He got fired.
Well, he injured himself dragging his crucifix across to shake the other guy's hand after the game, and he threw his neck out, so he was sidelined for a while, and he never came back. He never came back.
He's an intense man. That's just a single Terry. Imagine if you had a double or a triple Terry.
Or triple Terry.
Many Terrys.
And that'd be a very serious guy. The booth is laughing
Multi-Terry.
hilariously at that.
All right,
I don't
so
expect it.
Getting rid of the leaf blower and getting rid of the backup beeper.
And make Martini standard again.
Make them standard.
And put metal detectors in all schools. And Martini bars, I think, at this point.
And so what I was getting to, which is any politician that announces this is unacceptable after it happened, or like when, remember when de Blasio during COVID was like, if one person dies, that's what. Okay, somebody died in the last 10 minutes, dumb fuck. Now make some decent fucking policy and stop telling me if one person died. Many multiples of one are going to die. We're going to be in the millions here. That's what's going to happen. Now you need to do something that saves some of the old people, but doesn't fuck the kids up by locking schools for 3 years. But not announce one. One has already died, you fucking retard, and you can't say things that already happened are unacceptable. They already fucking happened. I don't know if you have this witch's speech, but this is taking soft, dumb people and putting them in charge, and all they know is fucking platitudes. Like they're sitting around going, you know, when these people come here to this country, they deserve dignity. They deserve a seat at the table. They just walked here from Honduras being raped every 20 feet. What they need is a fucking shelter and some slop. The dignity and the seat at the table, that's all. That's window dressing, bitch. And I don't even know what it means. You've just got raped here repeatedly and brought over on the back of a coyote, and you walked here from fucking Honduras, and that's not your real dad.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about when we're talking about dignity?
Yeah, I mean, probably not every 20 feet, but other than that, I take your point for sure.
Yeah,
That would be an
could've been
enormous
15.
amount of rapes happening.
Could've been
but
15.
That might have been 50 or 100 feet, but
Oh, yeah, right. More.
it's not every 20
more.
feet. It's a lot of.
You know
Is there a line of them?
I used hyperbole.
It was a little bit of hyperbole, but I do agree. It's like when people are coming in for a better life, they don't need every luxury of the country they're coming to. They're just looking to not be
You
murdered.
know what a luxury dignity is? When you're fucking hungry and you're shoeless?
Well, that is also, I thought, was actually a brilliant strategy of the Republican governors in like Texas and Florida was shipping the
Best move ever.
illegals to like Rhode Island and like to Martha's Vineyard because all of a sudden everybody that was so wanting every immigrant here, they couldn't handle 100 of them.
No, I know.
These border towns are taking hundreds of thousands and they're fine. They couldn't handle 100.
No, but they're sanctuary cities where everyone deserves to be treated with dignity.
Theoretically, yes.
Right, until somebody shows up.
Until anybody takes them up on that.
Right, so you're a sanctuary city until a bus pulls up and a bunch of migrants get off, and then you have no fucking idea what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a safe space until the bullets start flying, and then you don't have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot of words. Also, speaking of words, you just made me think of another thing. You know how earlier you said that it was a retarded thing you said, and I said you got to say Down syndrome. And then I realized, really, what we should do to solve this problem also is just if a group doesn't like the derogatory version of a term being used, they should just stop using that term for themselves instead of making us not get to use the term for the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like being called retarded, then you should just say you have Down syndrome. But why can't we? Let's just make retarded only a word for dumb actions.
Yeah, I feel the same way with the N-word. So
I rescind my entire argument.
Hold on.
To that, yeah.
You found a hole in it very quickly.
Downs is a name.
Down? Yeah. Downs.
Well, there was Hugh Downs.
Hugh Downs.
Downs.
Yeah.
Hugh Downs was a famous anchor.
2020.
2020 with Hugh Downs. Did he invent Down syndrome? I mean, not him, but his grandfather.
His grandfather.
Yeah.
Great.
It was.
Hezekiah Downs.
I'm Hugh Downs, and I have a touch of it. We'll be right back.
Is Down syndrome named after somebody?
Yeah. 100%.
Or is it because you're down? You've been detuned, like down round.
Or you're just sad about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty down about your syndrome.
Right.
Like, what's the origins of Down syndrome?
Got to be a doctor that figured it out.
Yeah, because
Gotta
nobody
be.
even
Dr.
know-
Downs?
Nobody even knew it
Or
was
some
Downs.
guy who had it, like Lou Gehrig's disease.
Right.
You think Lou
Like,
Gehrig's also responsible
I
for
think
this?
that he's the one who named it Down syndrome.
Interesting. Today I consider myself the most downy
Downest guy in the
Robert
world.
Downey
Yeah.
Jr.
The downest man in the world.
Here's the problem, okay?
So, is Down syndrome named after a guy who discovered
Gotta
it?
be.
Yes, named after John Langdon Down,
Langdon.
a British physician who was the first to accurately describe the physical characteristics of the condition.
And isn't that unfortunate? You know what I mean? Because I
him?
do. No, because when I think Down syndrome, I think down. Like
Right.
I look
It's
at
the wrong name.
Well, what I'm saying is up. You go. He's up. He's peppy. You know. He's on his feet. You know. He's
Right,
having a good
right.
day.
Yeah.
He's upbeat. He's upbeat.
Yeah.
Up. You know. Sort of good. That guy. You know, upbeat would mean sharp and on top of it, and fast on his feet and stuff like
Downbeat.
that. Down just feels.
I feel you, but I think you could be down with the syndrome, and you're pretty cool.
Oh, you're down with
You're
the
down with
syndrome.
the syndrome.
syndrome.
That's interesting. But I feel like if his name was Up or like Dr. Upton, they wouldn't have probably named the syndrome after him.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
people would have misunderstood
it would come across. It'd be more palatable if it was.
So you think it would have been good if,
Be like,
if Down
bro, you're-
syndrome was called Up syndrome?
Well, let's put it to you this
You
way.
think they'd be accepted more easily in society?
I'd be like, you're an uptard.
Well, they're
You'd still have tard
they're
in
up
there.
a chromosome.
I worked with a plumber named Bob Joya.
Nice.
Joya, you know what I mean? Joya syndrome sounds like a much happier
It's a
place
great
to be
syndrome.
than Down syndrome. It's
a great
You
syndrome.
know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you,
It's a Kamala Harris syndrome. It's all about joy.
and also, then you get back to you're so brat. Then you get back to oh God, what's her name who sung Titanic?
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
Shall we go for it?
She has stiff person disease.
Yeah, which I wish I had that. You know what I mean?
She
I have the
fucking
opposite
wishes it was named after the guy who invented it or discovered it.
Right.
She's just called
a
stiff person.
Hers is just described exactly.
Wait,
instead
what?
of being called.
What? She's stiff? Like literally stiff?
I'm saying,
I think
all
it
right,
makes you a little
we
stiff.
need
I haven't
some
really looked into it.
uniformity in shower valves, martini sizes, and
How we name
disease
diseases.
naming.
Yep.
Because one's after a guy's name, but it could be something else because Downs means something. She's named Lou Gehrig is, Lou Gehrig. She's got stiff. Okay. Mm-hmm. Crohn's is just called Crohn's.
Right. That's the guy's. They got to be a guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but we're nice enough to go, let's call it Crohn's. Let's not call it shits all over the fucking office disease.
Right.
But then with her, she's got stiff
I
person
know.
disease.
But those are also good for the sufferer. But do the doctors that discover these things get to weigh in whether it gets named after them?
I would
let's
think
say
so.
you discover people that are shitting all over the place, and they're like, it's called Crohn's disease, and you're like, no. I don't need every time now my name being associated with shitting. You go check in at a restaurant. And you're like, hey, it's Dr. Crohn's. No thanks.
I mean, think about the face you'd make if Dr. Crohn's was swinging by
It
you.
ruins his life. He's doing the world a favor discovering this disease.
Guess
and
who's
he can't go to a restaurant.
And what happened to his milkshake company?
Yeah, it's gone.
Stiff person's disease would be called Morsch and Waltman disease.
Morsch and
I
Waltman.
like
Yeah,
that
but it
better.
didn't catch on.
Not catchy.
So
You know who
they're the guys who found it.
You know who figured this shit out? Bob Jacuzzi. That fucking guy was like, I will be in the baby making, pleasure getting, dick sucking, champagne popping. Every fucking day you spend inside of my name is going to be a good day.
That's a great that name. I would accept that
fucking
name.
Jacuzzi guy was a fucking genius. And if you met some guy, oh yeah, you know Jack Jacuzzi, you'd go, oh fuck, that guy, like that guy. I don't like that fucking Dr. Crohn's over there.
Mr. Jacuzzi, come on in.
Jacuzzi, right this way. Crohn's, we wait over there. Try not to shit up the space.
Yeah. Crohn's, you're not allowed in this jacuzzi.
Who would you invite to your Super Bowl party?
Yeah.
Dr. Crohn's or Bob Jacuzzi?
Jacuzzi's in, man.
And then I'll have Zamboni along with Jacuzzi.
Zamboni.
Nice watch the hockey game.
Yeah, Zamboni, he brings limited pleasure, but he's too smart.
He's a smart guy.
to name
Technical.
that machine. They both sound like paisans to me. Like if the Jacuzzi and Zamboni like ever hung out.
Yeah, and then in the corner they're hanging out, and Dr. Downs is just sad over there.
He's over there with Crohn's.
Never
just
getting
fucking
seated.
Crying.
Crohn's and Downs just sitting there like a bunch of sad sacks.
The Zamboni can't be much older than the Jacuzzi.
No.
They got to be about the same time,
Technical
right?
level of like water heating and also ice smoothing. There's like,
I'm so lucky I didn't have a magic wand because when I was like 9, if you took me to a Kings game and said, would you like the job of the guy who drives a Zamboni? And I go, yeah. And they'd go, but it'd be for 80 years. I'd go, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I get to fucking drive that Zamboni.
Yeah, you're probably allowed to have snacks up there. You're probably going to have candy up there.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's waiting. They're all waiting on you.
Also, it's physically impossible to be at a hockey game and the Zamboni hits the ice and not watch it change the texture of the ice every way it goes. You have to watch it.
Something
I can't
about
look
it.
away.
You're right.
I just love seeing it go from ice to different color of ice.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. So let's figure this out.
It's like watching the screensaver on your DVD go around.
Hopefully it hits the corner.
The Zamboni invented in 1949 in California. It's a weird place to invent an ice resurfacer, but that's
very
us.
strange.
All right. The Jacuzzi, 68. Okay, so there is
68?
Man.
It seems a little late for a
Very
Jacuzzi.
late.
They were developing the water pumps though in 48. So right around the same time. Then
Well,
they
I'm
put it in
saying
water.
Zamboni and Jacuzzi they're 19 years apart, right? And they're both adults. They had to show up at a cocktail party at
they're
some
contemporaries.
Where did Zamboni Zamboni lived in California. Now, if Jacuzzi lived on the East Coast, that's California feels very Jacuzzi.
But I'm saying these guys are jet setters. Jacuzzi
They're
and
mobile.
Zamboni, that's a buddy comedy if I ever heard one.
Or it's a law firm. Here at the law firm of Jacuzzi and Zamboni.
Jacuzzi is
Eddie,
headquartered
you slip on the ice, you drown in a hot tub, you see us.
in Irvine, California.
Jacuzzi is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both California boys.
All right, and where was Zamboni and Jacuzzi knew each other.
100%.
There's no doubt about it.
smoke
It's just like
grass.
Rizzoli and
Zamboni
Isles.
was developed in Paramount, California.
Kind of far,
I'm astounded.
kind of a ride.
I'm astounded nobody sat in hot water before 68. There was no jets in a hot water before 68?
I think hot tubs existed, but jacuzzis are like Xerox machines. You know, it's like a type. It's like a brand,
Standard.
Oh,
and they're so good that they became
that's interesting.
Ubiquitous. The title. Find a picture of Zamboni and
Yes.
Jacuzzi together, like from '74, because they had to have hobnobbed. They're both rich and powerful Italian men.
And even if they didn't hobnob, they're definitely, I'm sure they exist. They were wearing suits with the collars out. They were like really like socialites. They were men about
their
town.
mothers went to church together.
For sure. Hey, Phil Zamboni.
Hey, Bob Jacuzzi, how are you?
Hey, it's great to see you.
Hey,
Adam.
Listen, I know I missed your kid's wedding. It's a little something for
Here's
Troy.
Here's
a little something.
Here's a little coupon for 50 off some bubblers, huh?
Hey, how's that frozen lake treating you? It's good. It looks like it could be a little smoother.
You know, the ice in this cocktail reminds me of a great day in my life. Here he goes again.
Oh, wait, I'm Jacuzzi or Zamboni?
Right now, I don't know. I became Zamboni.
Are they both? They both got to be a talent show. Your dad would know this.
I can do you one better. They've put a jacuzzi in a Zamboni. Stop
Oh!
the
it.
Zamboni jacuzzi.
Oh
No.
Do you know my number one invention that I think would conquer the world?
What's that?
The fondoozy.
Oh,
It's a jacuzzi filled with melted
Filled with
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah, that'd be the hit of every party.
shit.
When I track
And
out
do
the
you
fondoozy.
sit in it while you use it?
Yeah, just you hold chips. You get like a pillowcase worth of.
Interesting.
You get a raft filled with chips.
Okay. That's great.
Your fart takes 10 minutes to come to the surface. You know?
And only when it bubbles do you know it's time
Only
to
when
get
you know
out.
it's time to get out. You just-
Absolutely.
the raft of taco chips would float by you. Just grab a little in there.
Yeah, little dick flavored chips.
Little jalapeno dingies. You know, just sort of
Absolutely.
being pulled by the big raft.
That's right.
They made a Zamboni, a jacuzzi Zamboni.
I love it.
I'm loving it,
now it's
bro.
the dream job, Adam. Now you're back to your.
now
If
I'm
you had
back.
the wand now, you would take it.
I'm back to the dream. All right, let's take a break. And then we're going to do some news right after this.
Hey, I'm Adam Carolla. That's Brad Williams and Jay Leno. Hey, buddy. Over there, we're doing our third annual comedy fantasy camp. That's going to be January 23rd through the 26th, right in Hollywood, California. Where else would it be? These guys are going to be there.
So remember, 2 out of every 3 comics make it big.
Well, 1.5.
Do I get paid for this? Please tell me I get paid for this.
Go to comedyfantasycamp.com and get in on the fun.
Yeah, Simply Safe right now. That's the best time of the year to get some home security. Simply Safe. Well, they're extending their Black Friday deal only for my listeners. Last chance to protect your home at Simply Safe's lowest prices of the year. We all use Simply Safe here. We've used them for years. Over a decade, they've been a sponsor. It's great because everything is modular. So if you move, you can pick up your system and leave and take it with you. That's Simply Safe. They have Active Guard outdoor protection. Changes the game by preventing crime before it happens. That's right. Let's not find the person in your house. Let's find them outside your house. If someone's lurking around, acting suspicious, agents see them in real time, talk to them directly, set off the spotlight, even call the police. No long-term contracts and no big-time fees. It's about $1 a day for the Simply Safe protection. It's Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
Simply Safe is extending its massive Black Friday deal for our listeners this week only. Take 50% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is your last chance to claim their best offer of the year. Head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this season. Don't wait. This offer won't last long. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
All right, New Year's resolution. Vow to eat healthier, but what about your beloved pets and their nutrition? Yeah, you're doing better, but they're getting a bunch of dried up old kibble. Dr. Dennis Black created Rough Greens and Meow Greens to bring their dead food back to life with live vitamins and minerals, probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, antioxidants, and more. See, pet food is dead food, and you eat dead food, soon enough, you're going to join it. You need to bring it to life. All, by the way, in a tasty formula your dog or cat will love. It'll improve their coat, digestion, energy, and mean less vet bills. I've been doing this with Phil, holding the sack right now. VitaSmart. You don't have to buy food and keep it in the refrigerator. You just sprinkle this on top of the food you're currently serving your dog or your cat. Get a Jumpstart trial bag. It's normally $20. It's free with the promo code Adam. You just cover shipping. It's a free Jumpstart trial bag. That's it. You just go to ruffgreens.com. Use the code Adam. Try it out for free. Your dog's going to love it, and you'll notice the difference quickly in your dog's vigor and health. Rough Greens, so good, your pet will ask for it by name.
So it's important, it's good to analyze your life. Analysis is good, but don't overdo it. Don't worry about it too much. If analysis were that important, it wouldn't be made up of the words anal and ISIS.
Ben Gleib is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Ben's got a special, The Mad Kings, available on YouTube, where we find finer podcasts as well. All right, Mayhem, you got some news stories pulled down?
Got some news. First up in celebrity news, Kristen Cavallari. Kristen Cavallari.
I think it's calamari.
Yeah, it felt like it is. I think the Yellowstone star Kevin Costner and admits he's her forever crush.
He is her forever. She loves
He would be
Costner.
so lucky.
You like her?
I love her.
What do you like about her?
I just think she's beautiful. I'm a brunette guy. I usually don't like blondes, but she's something about her. Beautiful. Great face, great body, great vibe, classy, stylish.
Really?
Yeah.
I find her very annoying.
Really?
Grating.
I mean, I shouldn't even be saying this because she dated my friend, but really grating.
Yeah.
Who'd she date that you know?
Jeff Dye.
Oh, Jeff Dye, yeah. He has feelings about that relationship.
I think he does, yeah.
Yeah, he may have a couple.
Yep.
I may have heard some.
Yep. I should have never said this, but she's very attractive, I think.
All right, well, we're going to hear her? Something's on the screen. That's why I thought there was a clip or something coming.
Yeah, this was her responding. She responded in text on her Instagram story, "Given my number, forever crush."
And even that picture's hot that she did it on top of. She's like laying in bed with like sweats with her legs half crossed, ready for Kevin Costner to walk in this room and Tatanka, you know what I mean? Tatanka.
Money Tatanka Oachi. Bijmielo.
That's right.
Does, I like to think Costner's above this.
Oh, no doubt.
But I don't know.
He's also 80 and she's 30.
Yeah. But he looks...
He looks good.
He looks good. He just made me a video.
He did?
Yeah.
What do you mean? For no reason?
I told him he's 69 years of age. The guys...
You told him he was 69?
No.
Wait, who's 69?
Costner, 69. Sorry. The guys from Dry Bar, which, by the way, my special is available at Dry Bar now, but you would have to subscribe, but shall be released for free on YouTube coming up shortly, so people are aware of that.
As soon as Shelby does it.
The guys who from Angel Studios went and had some sort of meeting with Costner, and they asked him to say hi to me, or he said hi or something. We're as a kind of the only celebrity friend I have that Jimmy's a celebrity, but I knew him before he was a celebrity. Right. So Costner was always a celebrity before I got into show business. So he may be. I mean,
what
I
movie
have other friends
do you love him from? Is Dances with Wolves, or is it all of his 19 sports movies?
The bicycle movie.
The bicycle movie.
American Flyer.
I don't know that one.
Yeah. Oh, come on,
Sweet mustache.
Sweet mustache. Yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry that I couldn't come to the Christmas party.
That's
all right. I heard
right.
you had a great party. I had a slightly even crazier event I was invited to beforehand that I could not say no to.
Well,
I was
that's
an event
fine.
with Oprah and Meghan Markle. I had to not.
Oprah?
I had to go to that. Oprah Winfrey. You've heard
that
of her.
Oprah?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
It was a gala honoring Tyler Perry, the Paley Center Honors. And I mostly just went because I heard there's like some rumors that maybe Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were on the outs, and I wanted to get a chance to make my move.
Get in there?
Yeah.
They, in terms of shooting your shot, Kelsey did that with Taylor Swift and worked out pretty
worked
good,
out great.
right?
Yep.
Like, why not?
100%.
Yeah, I heard they're on the outs, and I tried to get with the Prince myself.
He tried to give it the Prince. He seems
Mayhem and Harry. I like that.
I know, it's hot.
He seems like a zero to me.
He's boring.
I met him. Yeah,
You have?
he's
You
like
met
a standard,
Standard
English
ginger.
white guy. Yeah.
So anyway, I like Costner. I'll tell you, underrated Waterworld.
Yeah.
Interesting, kind of dynamic, innovative, had some cool things.
Led to a whole attraction at Universal.
Dennis Hopper, funny, smokers on the Exxon Valdez guys. Anytime there's stunts on jet skis, I'm in. Anytime guys are jumping jet skis, I'm in.
Yeah. And there was a part where Costner slaps the little girl and says, "What are you doing?" or something. And I think it's Jack Black flying the plane, and he sees him slap her, and he goes, "Nice touch."
Wow.
Jack Black?
It's a Jack Black looking guy.
It was a crazy guy flying that whatever. The kite or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm going to take a deep dive, pardon the pun, and go for Waterworld.
Okay. It's a good one.
It's a good one.
I would probably choose Bull Durham or For Love of the Game.
Yeah, that's...
or Field of Dreams. I mean, all of his baseball ones were the best, I
don't
think.
like movies where guys honor their dads.
Interesting.
It makes me angry.
Interesting. Is that all three of them? No, that's just Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
You don't like Field of Dreams?
I don't like movies where the dads are honored.
You don't like a game of catch with your dad at the end?
It makes me angry.
Okay, all right.
My dad and I never had that moment.
I understand that, okay.
Now,
with the Field of Dreams, it's possible now, but okay. You make your choices.
My dad wasn't possible when he was alive.
Yeah, but the things are different. You get a lot of wisdom and get a lot chiller when you're dead.
Yeah.
My dad's died a couple of months ago. I haven't heard anything from him.
Really?
That's because you haven't built the jazz club yet.
A jazz club. My dad could play the trumpet. I hate dusty movies. Like that movie where The Rock played whatever the black superhero was. Black Adam from Egypt or whatever.
Oh.
One big pile of dust. And it was all shit falling down and poof, everything was fucking dust. I wanted to take a fucking shower halfway into that movie. I worked earthquake rehab. Did I mention that? Dust. It's fucking dust. Roto hammers into masonry. Dust. You know what you'd have to do?
Leaf blower. You would need a leaf blower.
Yeah, 2 of them.
You want to know worse than a leaf blower? When you would roto hammer, which is concrete drill, into the foundation before you would fill the hole with epoxy and then put all thread in so you could bolt down the foundation.
You got to strengthen that cripple wall.
You had to fucking blow it out with air. You know what 100-year-old footing foundation is when you're underneath a fucking building and you got to bring in compressed air and
Are you just using one of those cans you use for your computer, or is it more leaf blower industrial strength?
We had compressors all over. On a construction site, you'd have one, 20-gallon compressor. and then like 5 hoses all going off, and you'd be using nail guns and blowing out shit and stuff like that. But the earthquake rehab's the fucking worst. But dust, I don't like dust. But I don't like movies that are dusty.
Yeah.
But then that stupid Black Adam movie, all it was dust. Dust
I
storms blowing
misspoke.
into.
I think you were talking about Scorpion King.
No, I'm talking about. I won't see that one either. But Waterworld.
Oh yeah,
Zero dust.
Zero dust. They wish they had.
They prayed
their
for
dream.
dust. There wasn't dust to be found.
Yeah,
that's why I like it so much. Yeah. I mean, Field of Dreams. They had to drag the field once, so it got a little dusty.
True. True. All right. If only they had a Zamboni instead of the boys just scraping the infield.
You're right.
With that long net thing.
That weird mesh screen thing.
I also like watching that though, because I always think they're going to miss part of the dirt, and they don't really miss any dirt.
So anyway, she shooting her shot with Costner.
Yep.
Yeah, because he just recently got a divorce. She's just broke up with this 24-year-old TikTok boy. So
do you have that Costner video, Joe? Did we ever send that to you? No. Huh. Tell Mike.
What did Costner say to you?
Oh, he was talking about me having to do a clean set for Dry Bar.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask, would you be able to do a clean set for Dry Bar?
Fuck no. Tell August to send it to you. I think he has it. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I looked at it as a challenge. I disagree when any professional comedian goes, I could never do it. You could do it. You're going to have to get into your material. But I am telling you, people, do not dismiss it by saying it's the verbiage, it's the shits and the fucks. It's not that. It's the themes. It's the stuff you're talking about that's no fly, where you don't get to do that idea. You can take any joke and clean it up
for sure,
but you can't take an idea for a joke and clean it up.
That they wouldn't let you do.
Everyone. Most of my material is like fucking, I shouldn't say most, but I'd say like a fair degree of material is like themed badly.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you mean?
For those of you listening to this, Adam's face just running through his material right now just looked almost traumatized by his own material.
I've been traumatized. I mean, I'm trying to think how long to go into this, but there's a bit about, I found out that Gavin Newsom wanted his own alert for when black kids were missing, because we have the Ebony Alert. He wanted to institute the Ebony Alert. We have the Amber Alert, but this is a true thing. He did do this.
Wow.
So anyway, the long and the short of the joke is, the Amber Alert is basically for missing kids, but because Gavin Newsom's basically a racist, he wants the Ebony Alert for missing black kids. But I looked into it, which I did, and I was like, where are all these Amber Alerts? And you think it's a kid in a primered van going to Mexico. It's not. It's just dads who got screwed in a divorce hearing, a custody issue, wanting to spend a little more time with their kids. So it's really just dads wanting to spend more time with their kids. So as far as the Ebony Alert goes, we can rule them out. If a black kid goes missing, we got to look now. Because it's not dad trying to get an extra game of Parcheesi.
That's almost the reason why you do need an Ebony Alert.
Right. And so, while there's no profanity whatsoever,
right, I understand.
Thematically,
I get that.
It's a harsh,
the
racist,
are too dark.
Racist joke.
Well, a lot of people are policing material, because I'm going to be doing an OnlyFans set soon.
Oh, really?
And they don't want you doing like anything offensive or political. I'm like, on the site?
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
What?
They want it to be it can be titillating, but it can't be, they don't want politics. They don't want, I'm like, are you sure there's like lines there's lines here? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I was astounded.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Where do you shoot it?
Ice House, I think, is they do their tapings.
Oh, OnlyFans does. Oh.
Because they have like non-adult stuff now. OnlyFans TV or whatever.
Yeah, because didn't Whitney Cummings do one?
Yeah, she did the Burt Kreischer roast, and she did a stand-up thing for them, produced a show.
How'd that work?
I don't know. I think it went well. I think it went really well. I think she's helping them establish a name in like non-adult things. Yeah. I mean, I think she should have just done the adult stuff. It would have been even easier.
Winnie, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's the way you make money.
Absolutely.
Interesting. All right. So,
there's the OnlyFans TV.
OnlyFans TV. Oh, I didn't know they've had that. I mean, I guess
There's Whitney right there.
I guess everything is just eventually spreads out and just becomes mainstream.
Pun intended for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And gaping even.
Yeah, it's like everything starts as something and then just sort of becomes something else.
What they said, eBay started as a place to only sell and trade Pez dispensers.
Really?
Yeah, and now it's just all things.
Amazon was the only place you could get a decent Zamboni back in the
true.
day.
That's a
and now
fact.
they sell everything.
Jet skis in there.
Yeah.
You can just
And
do little
Pornhub
loops.
was only jacuzzis.
That's right.
And they made
Still
it,
is largely.
Yeah.
The Waterworld made it easy. All the bad guys just smoked.
You're right.
They were called
You're
the
right.
smokers, and they just smoked. Like I mean, he was on to something early. Anyway, all right. If Mike sends that vid, I'll show it to you. But keep going.
All right, Netflix is walking back its generous paternal leave policy after too many workers take a full year off.
Who the fuck decided you had to wait till your kid was in high school before you came home? Like, it's a new world order. I had twins. I missed one day of work, and then I went back because I had a job and because there's
Felt like
nothing.
the twins could take care of each other.
Yeah,
Two of
split it
them.
up. First off, there's nothing going on with a newborn. They just need somebody making sure mama doesn't get drunk and roll over on them and suffocate them.
Right.
There's no bonding. There's no after they're born, they're cleaned up. They make everything. We have replaced in a world where we basically got rid of religion. We replaced it with a bunch of superficial pussy shit that makes nothing. You know, like you have to bond with your kid. You have to. They don't even know They don't know the fuck you are until they're like 4.5. There's no anything. There's no reason. I didn't even raise my kids after they were born. We had a fucking nanny and a night nurse. Some person that shouldn't have been in this country raised these fucking kids.
And I mean, that's probably better for the kids.
Better for the kids.
For sure.
I just paid. I just threw money at the problem.
Yeah.
I didn't do, maybe 2 diapers. I fucking worked. I made a bunch of money, and I'm not fucking, and also, I got a morning radio job. I got to get up at 4:45 or whatever every morning. No, I'm not going in the room with the monitor going off and doing the diaper 2:20 in the evening. I don't do. Why the fuck should I do that? I bought the fucking house and everything else. Yeah. Now I'm going to take more of my money. I'll give it to the night nurse. She'll go and fucking sleep in that room with those kids and take care of them. That's it. I just got back from New York with my kids. They love me, and they called me. Well, they called me Yolanda a few times.
Sure, I get
but
that.
That was a little off-putting.
And they also don't want to watch Field of Dreams with you.
No, they don't want to watch American Flyers. It's fine. They're fine. They're 18. We have a good time.
Sure.
They don't remember from when they were zygotes and I wasn't there.
Well, of course they don't remember. This is their first memories with you.
Yes. How do you do? Yolanda, is it?
We're told you are mom or dad.
No, my son, my name is Bob Jacuzzi. Good to meet you. How about I freshen up that highball? All right. It's bullshit, and you certainly don't need to the dads don't need to fucking stay home for 2 months. The moms, if they're taking care of the kid, fucking stay home. And then get the fuck back to work. Pete Buttigieg staying home for like 3 months. He's appointed Secretary of Transportation. 10 minutes later, he's like, I gotta go back to the condo and hang out with my fucking boyfriend who didn't even shit out this fucking kid. We paid a surrogate and I won't be working for 3 months. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Get the fuck back to work.
Husband, I think, but it does bring up an existential question. If it's 2 fathers, should both get paternal leave? At the most, one. They're both. You can't get double paternal leave.
Which one's dad?
Right.
Which one's the bitch?
You get one dad. If there's not a mom there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
there's got to be some lines in society.
Yeah, this whole story, Netflix, had a loose guidelines, and they say parents generally take 4 to 8 months off for paternal leave. But what happened was it was very vague in the wording of the policy, so everybody just took a year off. And, you know.
Well, the other thing that people do is they'll just take full advantage of whatever the system
That's
is.
what I'm saying. It's one of those
Why
system
didn't they
hacks.
just make the rule more specific? That's on. They don't have to roll back the whole They should have done it that you can take as much time off as you need or share your parenting with up to 3 other people if you give them your password.
The Family and Medical Leave Act it applies to companies with at least 50 employees, requires employees to offer up to 12 weeks of unpaid parental leave. In some states, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, California, Colorado, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Washington, D.C. are required to offer 12 weeks of paid parental leave.
Fucking 3 months of pay.
Yeah.
It's probably what the drones are in New Jersey. They're
That's
looking
right.
to see if people are indeed parenting or if they're just out on a Zamboni having a great hot tub old time.
You can find, remind me, because Dawson sent me a note. I made a joke about Pete Buttigieg. You can find that Waters clip from last night. Maybe I have it somewhere, but I made a gay joke about him. But you know what's kind of funny? What's interesting, if you do enough shows, is the host will react and laugh when the host knows that that was a spontaneous answer and not one that was chambered. Because they'll tell you we're going to talk about this and we're going to talk about that, right? But then every once in a while, they'll go somewhere else. And the thing that's kind of interesting, anyway, it wasn't, the thing that was funny is the guy who ran the van, they show up in a big Sprinter van to your house.
Oh, to do the hit from in front of your house. Mobile studio.
Mobile studio. They put it back around. They put the earbud in, the ear thing, so you can hear the
and
feed.
No TV monitor, which is insane in these trucks. How do they not have a TV monitor? You can have it on your phone logged onto Zoom. It's like I'd much rather do it from my home from Zoom.
This is interesting. I'm glad you brought this up, Ben. This guy, it's funny. This guy pulls up, and I'm just cutting it close. I got home at 10 to 5, and my hit was at 5:20. So I'm cutting it close. And this guy, as I'm pulling in my driveway, I go, I'm just going to go up. You don't have to change, just to put a shirt on, a decent shirt on. He goes, that could be him. The guy goes, all right, see you at 2:20. And I go, no, not 2:20. He goes, oh, yeah, 4:20. And I go, no, it's 4:50 right now. And he goes, oh, yeah, 5:20. I go, okay, that took a minute. Then I came back down. I was sitting in the seat, and I realized he did something the second time that he didn't. The monitor needs to be, there is a monitor, but it needs the feed of the show. So you can see the guy talking and not talking. The monitor had me on it, right?
That's what they have, right.
And I go, the last time I had this guy, he did the monitor with me on the monitor, not the feed of the show, and it fucked the timing up a little because I couldn't see, and there's a 2-second delay. And this time it was like 4 minutes before the show was before my hit, and I'm sitting there looking at myself, and I go, New York, can we change the feed to the feed of the show, not me? And then all of a sudden it changed like that. He did it from the front. This fucking guy was going to do that fuck up again. It's also weird about people. Like, what job do you have? And then why would you do this?
People put in zero effort onto almost any job.
I agree. So when the thing was over, he goes, that Pete Buttigieg joke, that was a good one. You must have been sitting on that one for a while. And I said, no. There was no discussion. And I said, the reason Jesse laughed real hard is because we didn't have the discussion. And it was a decent joke. I mean, one time, God, I remember one time I did O'Reilly a million years ago, and he goes, hey, Carolla, how's it over there in L.A. with, he said something like with your cocaine and your and your movie stars or something. And I said, Well, first off, it's fentanyl and prostitutes. Like, and he just laughed because he thought he was going to fucking zing me getting out of the thing. Now, it wasn't all that funny, but it was to him because he knew there was no prep to it. That's,
yeah. But are you you remember the Buttigieg joke?
It's there. I think we got the
great
clip. You can watch it. You can see, I don't know what we're going to be talking about.
We're going through the episode. Give us a moment.
Okay. When you pointed into the thing, sorry.
Also, right, when you're in this mobile truck, even when they do have the video feed of the show, it's better, but it's still a mind fuck because you're trying to be in the moment talking to somebody, but you're watching them on a 2-second delay. So it's like you're experiencing instant nostalgia of life that just happened and trying to time based on the past.
That'd be a good John Lennon song.
Thank you.
Instant nostalgia.
Well, I think that line I might have a little bit been inspired there by Dimitri Martin's old joke. He goes, "I love smartphones because you get to experience nostalgia right away."
I like that, Dimitri. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a good
What
writer.
are we doing with Oprah and Tyler Perry?
I was just invited to the $2,500 seats. My buddy just had 4 seats and invited me to this gala. And I thought I was going to be like hobnobbing with Ted Sarandos and Meghan Markle and Oprah and Tyler Perry. And they had security around all 4 of them. And you couldn't even with $2,500 tickets, you couldn't get near these people.
Really?
I was shocked. I did talk to Kerry Washington for a minute. She had no security. But everybody else, I just couldn't. And I wasn't even trying to talk to Meghan Markle. I just wanted to go up to Ted Sarandos and say, my next special, I'm going to be pitching it to you guys soon. Please keep an eye out for it. And I couldn't. I was in an argument with the lady, the security lady. I walked up there. She's like, please, they said nobody goes around here. And I just smiled at her. And a friend of mine got a photo of me smiling at the security lady with Meghan Markle in the background. And I posted it and just put my caption over the lady's badge so you couldn't quite tell she was a security lady. It just looked like I was hobnobbing very close to Meghan Markle. In fact, I was almost being arrested.
Wow.
But I really hid that for social media and then admitted it now.
They don't cordon it off or anything. They just have security guys kind of hanging around.
Like boxing you out?
Yeah. And they probably wouldn't have maybe even had them everywhere. Like they were at their table. They were fine. There was no security there probably, but they just stayed in this one area by the front of the red carpet where there was security, and they just talked there the whole time. But my table was in direct eye line of Meghan Markle, and there was one moment where I looked over, like 2 tables back, and she looked at me and kind of went one of these. She was like a little bit of a shy look away.
Come hither?
Yeah, a little bit of a come hither, or it could have been like, who is that? Why is he looking at me? Tell him to stop looking at me.
Yeah,
one of
maybe
those two
that.
for sure.
I sometimes will get the go hither. You know what I mean? Like, go over there and fucking hither.
Yeah, go away, hither,
Leave your
please.
fucking hither puss and walk it outside of this building, please.
Yep.
Yeah, stop hithering around here.
But instead, I just didn't talk to any of them. And then the girl that was assigned to be my date by my friend that invited us stole my vape at the end of the night and then walked away with my vape. So it was a disappointing night compared to what it could have been.
I think we have the clip here.
Thank God.
As far as I can tell.
I don't think they're going to have any success with the old playbook. I think they're going to have to find some Fetterman-style guy, some guy or some girl that it's at least authentic. Like, you may agree, you may disagree, but that's exactly who they are.
You're probably right. That rules out Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who I don't know if I was on a flight and he started handing me bags of planners. I don't know if I'm down with that.
Well, if Buttigieg comes up behind me and offers me nuts, I am going to be scared for a moment.
All right, I'm kicking you off this flight, Carolla. That's enough. You're going to have to listen to his podcast for me.
Yeah, he wouldn't have laughed that hard if he knew it was chambered already.
Also, nobody in the world knows, looking at that beautiful city backdrop behind you, that you're in a guy's van.
I'm in a guy's van.
He's offering you candy, and they think you're in a beautiful LA TV studio.
He later took me to Mexico. We had a Amber Alert type situation.
I love that.
It was zip ties and duct tape and Tijuana or bust. And I was abducted. Yeah.
Best day of your life.
Yeah, but I got him to put ESPN on the monitor finally, so I had
just
some
to cover the
back
noise.
there. Yeah,
he shoots, he scores.
You sit in a van. They have you sit on a little bolted down
stool, uncomfortable.
Yep, and they hook you up. They always ask you what ear you want the monitor in. The feedback thing. I'm always like, I don't know, whatever you like. And then they put the mic on you. and then
I'm always also astounded when it's television and they don't make any effort to adjust. They want you to come early for sound check and video check, and they're always like, "Can you say a word? Hello, yeah, we're good, thank you." Like they don't adjust. Can you look this way? You're shiny. Talk louder. They don't care.
They don't care. And every once in a while, they get you to do even more work where they have you hold up the white balance card, where they go, "Can you hold up the white balance?" And you hold this thing like you're like an inmate in a penitentiary, you know, you just hold this thing up and they go like, oh, they dial in the white, whatever.
And there's Photoshop numbers on there.
That's right. And they get rid of the badge.
That's right.
All right, one more, Mayhem.
All right. Well, we'll go with this. Luigi Mangioni's grandmother left his family members millions so long as they didn't commit crimes.
Wow. All you had to do is not shoot a CEO in the back in Manhattan. And you could just lived in Maui for the rest of your life.
That really gives.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my protagonist.
He was a rich guy who wasn't even insured by that company, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's apparently the situation. I think he just got kind of indoctrinated by a lot of books that he read and very angry at the system as a total and decided to make himself the vigilante that, you know, showcased the...
I mean, the healthcare system is super broken. Doesn't mean you should murder people, but it is. But they don't have in all the covers. They're like it's completely. He took a life. But these healthcare companies are taking like thousands and thousands of lives, and nobody cares.
It's easy to see both sides of it if you look into it because this healthcare executive was, you know, responsible for a lot of people getting denied care, and you know, this guy fashions himself a Robin Hood type figure to you know, take from the rich. And
he's a fucking nut. You should kill yourself when you plan assassinations. Make you your first target. That's what I would like to put on one of those electronic freeway signs. If you are going
click it or
to
ticket,
do a
don't
murder,
drink and drive.
You're going to do if you're doing a murder suicide. Let's start with suicide, and maybe we'll get around to the murder.
Make it suicide murder. You really cut down the murder rate.
I think they should call it suicide murder to stop. Right now they go murder suicide, and we got a dead wife over
These
here.
people are stupid. They'd probably fall for the order switch.
Yeah, they go, oh, what is
the old
it?
switcheroo. It's classic.
Yeah, it'd be like rabbit season, duck season with Bugs Bunny and Daffy. Oh, was that Daffy Duck? Yeah. You just switch it on them. You go, you're not planning on doing a suicide murder.
Mind if I see that gun there, boss?
Yeah. What did you say? It's murder. No, it's suicide murder. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea.
So I'll kill myself. Then I'm going to kill my wife when she gets back from work. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called.
That's a good order, good plan.
Murder. Switch.
I like
the script.
The old switcheroo. I like that. Also, with the freeway electronic signs, you know, even in this modern day of all sorts of substances, they still say don't drink and drive on those signs. Right. It feels like it's implicit permission to drive high.
Yeah. Smoke weed and
They don't even want to mention it.
Yeah, they have. I have seen some PSAs where there's like an actor explaining not to drive high. I've seen a couple.
I like that the message really sunk in deep for you, though.
Yeah, well, I was pretty big when I saw it, and I was trying to operate that big rig, and I was watching my phone, so I didn't see the whole thing. There's a don't drive high PSA that is done by an actor where they think it's real cute, where the guy's acting for the first 5 seconds, and then he breaks down the fourth wall and starts walking toward the camera going, I'm an actor, which I always go, oh, you're such a fucking hero admitting you're an actor. And he's real serious about, but the thing that's kind of funny about it is they don't say don't smoke pot. They just go, don't smoke pot and drive. They're not trying to convince you. It's long gone are the days where we're trying to convince people not to smoke pot at all. Now it's like, you're smoking pot.
Right.
Just don't operate a dirigible.
Right. Listen, I'm an actor. We're all doing meth.
That's
when
right.
you do meth, what we want to make sure you don't do is also fly an airplane.
Yeah.
That's all we ask.
I don't know what it would be called. A anti-pot?
What would be called?
This PSA... I've seen it on TV quite a few times. A guy who's an actor telling you not to
I
smoke
remember
pot
it, yeah.
and saying he's an actor.
Listen, I'm an actor.
A far cry from this is your brain on drugs. You know what I mean? Because now...
But also that didn't work because everybody loves eggs.
That's right. It's true.
Everybody loves eggs. Who doesn't want to be eggs? I'd love to be eggs.
Where is
People love eggs so much, the whole
here it
election is
is.
based on egg prices.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
This commercial got an Emmy for best
What a premise.
best dolly work.
Oh, I thought it was best man bun.
Best band, but that's some dolly work. They had to pull. Some guy was pulling that camera, rolling.
It was beautifully shot, but the premise of this ad, they thought we have 15 seconds. Instead of just telling people not to drive high, we're going to have an unknown actor acting as though
Step
he's
out of the
standing
party.
in a party.
Yeah.
And people are going to be much more effective ad. This guy, an out-of-work actor doesn't think I should drive high.
Also, if you are high and you're watching that, then you assume later on when you turn it on Friends or any other show that Jennifer Aniston's going to break down the fourth wall and start talking to you.
Creates an unfair
through
expectation.
a totally unrealistic and unfair expectation of a fourth wall broken down.
Right.
Let's watch it one more time.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
All 12 seconds.
I also like the guys who got I don't know, they had to Taft Hartley them or something, but they got the non-speaking role in this 15-second.
Yeah.
Smoking at a party, drinking at a party.
An ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Oh, thanks, bud.
He gives the extra reason at the end. You shouldn't do it, and also it's
also
illegal.
illegal.
But also, as far as an actor, he has just 15 seconds of acting in this commercial. Because I hate to break this to you, but even after he breaks down the fourth wall, he's still acting. He's still an actor in this commercial.
Wait, I didn't get that.
He doesn't become a real.
What do you think about the choices?
And he doesn't look at his watch.
No.
He has one physical thing to do in the commercial, and he goes, I'm given 12 seconds, and never breaks eye contact with the camera. He fakes the watch look. This guy has no future
Wait,
as an
and all
actor.
of this was inside the Sprinter van?
That's correct. Yep.
What do you think of the choices from a directorial standpoint of the extras looking at him when he walked away?
No, they didn't break character. They were all still in the party.
They were looking. They were looking.
No, they were
at
looking
them.
at him like, why is he breaking character?
Why is he walking into the entry hall and talking to someone who's not here?
They're high.
They didn't. They broke. They stopped
I want
acting.
to see it again.
Yeah, I do. I want to run it back. I like
Watch
that track
watch the
too.
watch too. Make sure you look
12
at.
seconds.
Oh,
to
he
remind
kind
you
of
that if
glances,
you're
but doesn't
high,
really
See
process
the guy with
it.
the beer?
'Cause if you
Now
feel
they're all
different,
looking.
You drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Can we get back to the scene?
They stopped acting, Mayhem,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
we're looking at him. That's a choice. I would have kept them in that party.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then
I'm with you.
And then had like a date rape situation
Yeah,
go on
yeah.
the sofa.
You want a double ad,
a double PSA.
double PSA.
Yeah, a double
where someone
penetration.
And
drinks too
also,
much,
back in
they
the
blacked
party
out.
back there, there's people that aren't
being
able to
raped.
consent fully.
There's also a grip that has to get cued to like walk and we see their back. They must have cued that guy.
And
right?
also support the unions. They could have thrown a couple more causes into this ad.
Yeah.
Support your
IATSE?
striking IATSE members.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's take a break.
Plus, the Apple Watch is now available on sale. Tells you how many seconds you got.
We've got 12.
To tell people not to drive drunk.
We'll come back and we'll do a little more right after this. Shopify, businesses that sell through the roof like Allbirds or Skims, you've heard of them. They have a great product and brand and marketing as well. But the businesses behind the business makes selling simple. And for millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better. Home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not so secret Shop Pay. Boost conversions up to 50%, way less carts go abandoned, meaning way more sales. So if you want to grow your business, your platform has to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. The web, your store, their feed, everywhere in between. That's where Shopify comes in. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Right, Dawson?
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Carolla, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Carolla to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Carolla.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts is in the business of keeping your car on the road. They offer friendly, helpful service and parts and knowledge that you're going to need to maintain and do the repairs yourself. Always used O'Reilly. I've used to hit the one up on Foothill when I was in La Crescenta renting a house, keeping that Isuzu Trooper on the road. And they got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in their store or online. So you have, you don't have to worry if you're in a jam. You can go online and get your stuff. You can go into a store and get your stuff. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your battery for free in or out of your car, which is nice because sometimes it's tough to get those babies out of the car. You need your windshield wipers replaced, brake light fixed, or a quick service? Well, they'll help you find the right part or point you to the nearest local repair shop as well and get help there. Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you're going to find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they're friendly. The professional parts people at O'Reilly. O'Reilly Auto Parts. One-stop shop for everything, especially if you're a do-it-yourselfer for your car. In-store, online. You can stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and do it today, or visit us online, O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'Reilly.com/Adam.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace man, enough of these lame pizza toppings. Go heavy duty. Sauerkraut and Canadian bacon. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
No. What's on your pizza, Ben? And what's on your hot dog?
So definitely not sauerkraut on the pizza. Last time I was here, I mentioned to you something you seemed open to trying. I almost, if I had more time, I would have stopped and got you one. Cheese pizza with banana slices.
Yeah.
I don't do it a lot, but it's enjoyable.
Okay.
And you seemed against it, Mayhem.
You know what? I'm totally against it, but I'm willing to try.
I appreciate your open-mindedness. On my hot dog, there's just two different versions you got to go. You either go the traditional, I like mustard, ketchup, relish, and onions. You need the onions to
onions.
Get rid of the relish. Is too strong otherwise.
Gotta have the onions.
Or I just go mustard and sauerkraut.
Oh, those are all good.
I'd
probably back the ketchup out. But I'm not a big I don't have a big problem with ketchup if we have if we go everything. If we just go full works, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't mind maybe a jalapeno on the sauerkraut one too. Couple jalapenos.
All right. So I don't know if you guys caught it, but the Duke Lacrosse accuser girl, you have it in your
I have
story
it,
there?
It was proven untrue in the end of the thing, right?
It was.
They knew it was untrue at the time. The guy Mike Nifung, the DA, ended up
the
getting
DA
suspended.
was trying to, get reelected, I guess. So, and that's how this all happened. Crystal Magnum, a former exotic dancer, was hired to perform at the party hosted by Duke Lacrosse players and accused 3 of them of rape nearly 20 years ago.
Now, you got to understand, the DA knows these guys aren't guilty and are going to completely destroy their 19-year-old lives and put them in prison for decades because he's trying to get reelected, which is scary that these people in these kinds of numbers exist out there. Like, it's crazy how many of those people are in position of authority. But really, she's apologizing or whatever.
Well, actually, she's been found guilty.
Oh, she murdered somebody.
Second-degree murder for fatally stabbing her boyfriend in 2011. 2011. And then she admitted on a podcast last week, I guess, from jail, that she was not raped.
Yeah, but the real culprits here are all the race hustling news outlets that grabbed this story and just fucking ran with it and blew it up and turned it into another fucking race hoax.
Was it a race issue?
Yeah. 3 white guys, black stripper,
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize. Okay.
All the fucking bitches on TV that just hustled this thing into another race story. Those are the real culprits here, the race hustlers.
But it's also the DA, because DAs do this. This is a thing. When they have a high-profile case, they latch onto it super hard, and even if it's a very weak case, like this one was, obviously, and try to get reelected off of this because it's going to put your name up into the spotlight. So the charges were dropped afterwards, and it did ruin these guys' life.
But like, how about some fucking due process? Like, the coach got fired. Everyone had to quit. The athletic director quit. And it was right at the beginning, all the wokeism shit. The chancellor from the school had to apologize. The black community at the school was saying we don't feel safe, and all this shit. They just hustled. All they did was create more illusions of a racist society once again. And that part, there's no apology, and it'll never go away. That's just everyone being agitated, thinking that we live in a society that we don't live in, or Jussie Smollett, or whatever the fucking hustle. There's more race hoaxes now than there are actual racism events in this country. It's fucking nuts. And it's the news outlets' fault, because you're journalists and you're a news outlet. You could look into things.
Yeah, because this Duke rape one the accusation was clearly false back in the day, because I remember the news didn't look into it, but I was co-headlining a tour with Bert Kreischer back in the day, and with me and Eddie Ifton and Bert Kreischer, and Bert was so certain, I wasn't really following the case, and he was certain it was a false accusation on stage with all of our shirts off that Bert insisted on. He got a broom and had us mark out on stage the size of the bathroom and then prove that you couldn't do what was accused of it. And as a stand-up bit, questionable, but he made the point very well. But yet the news couldn't figure it out. You needed Bert Kreischer to figure it out.
Right.
It wasn't ha-ha funny.
It was interesting, but it wasn't it wasn't a great closer.
No, but the news doesn't want to figure it out. That's the whole point. They want to fucking throw fuel on the fire.
Right. And also, who am I to judge Bert Kreischer's closers? He has done pretty good in stand-up, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. He can afford as many brooms as he wants now. He could 4 brooms,
He could replace leaf blowers with just actual brooms, which is what they should all do.
Agreed.
Interesting side note on those guys. It doesn't say it in this story. And the Duke lacrosse players reached an undisclosed settlement after the charges were dropped. So the city of Durham paid these guys somewhere I read millions of dollars because of this thing. So it may have ruined their life in the short term, but made them very rich in the long term.
I would want the amount to be disclosed. After your life gets ruined to that degree, I would want people to know, but at least now I got $100 million.
Right.
I did a bit right in the middle of all this stuff on Kimmel's show, where I was doing a movie trailer, and I played an army, a high-ranking office guy. And I remember saying to Jimmy, he didn't know, I go, "Oh, my character, I play Colonel Duke Lacrosse," and the whole audience started booing, and the audience was like, "What the fuck did he just say right in the middle of this rape thing?" I was like, "Colonel Duke Lacrosse." That's a great name. That's a good fuck. Colonel, you wouldn't fuck with Colonel Duke Lacrosse. He plays by his own rules, and the audience was like, No. It was 4 days after this thing blew up.
That was when Kimmel officially stopped having co-hosts for the week.
That's right. But I stand by the name as a killer name.
It's a great name
for a movie trailer. If you play Colonel Duke Lacrosse, you know what Colonel Duke Lacrosse had to do? He had to go into hell. He had to volunteer to go to hell. Okay. There was a mad person who was terrorizing the world. Basically the second coming of Hitler. Some monks had found a porthole to hell that opened and closed once every 500 years or something. Colonel Duke Lacrosse volunteered to go to hell to find Hitler and have him tell me how to stop this guy. And I think it was called To Hell and Back or something. And
this was a sketch on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it was a weird scene because I did the whole sketch and my character was naked the entire time. And
oh my God.
I'd come back to the couch, the sofa, and Jimmy's like, "Why were you naked?" I was like, "Well, in hell, when you go through the porthole to hell, you can't have any physical belongings and materials or anything." And he was
it's like an MRI.
Yeah, but he's like, but Hitler was dressed like Hitler, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Well,
yeah, I was the only nude guy in hell.
You can get redressed once you're down
you
there.
Can go to you can go to
Taylor. They have
a
tailors.
Marshalls down there.
Yeah, most tailors are gay. They're down there.
They probably have a big and tall place in hell.
Yeah,
good one.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
even all they have is a big and tall place.
Yeah,
it really sucks for the little guys.
I wonder. It must be depressing giving directions in hell. Like you go, where's the big and tall place? You know, the eternally burning lake? It's right there.
Yeah.
Like if you get to the lake, you're there. You're at the big and tall place.
Is Hitler in an oversized suit pointing?
Yeah.
Hitler, but he looks like the cute boy at the end of Big in the oversized suit when he goes back to being small.
That's right.
Which really is like the most adorable form of Hitler. Not that there should be an adorable form. But if you had to choose, I'd be less afraid of like baby Hitler.
I don't know. I don't know if that thing exists online.
You know, baby Hitler, if he had 2 wishes in the Zoltar machine, what that second wish would be. So you can't give him that second wish.
Yeah. What do you think's going on? You know all things Middle East.
Yeah.
What's going on with your brethren over there? What's happening?
I mean, it's very new complications every day. Now with Syria falling, Assad's gone. Israel's taken a mountaintop that has a perch into Israel to protect itself from further terrorist attacks. And now they can get intelligence into Syria.
No country should have to do that, Ben.
I know.
They should not have to do that.
We should just make it into a free zone where you can just lob stuff over.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that.
I take that all back.
Yeah.
But also, no advancements in the hostage negotiations and in a ceasefire. It's not anywhere close to an actual ceasefire when literally Kirby at the State Department says, look, we're closer now than we have been since the first deal. Nothing is on the table, and we don't think one is about to happen, but we're close. There's the chance. Hamas now is considered thinking about maybe talking about considering a deal. So we're there.
Yeah, I would assume there's nothing Kirby says and nothing that Biden says. There's nothing that comes out of the White House where I would remotely think for a second that that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Well, it could be drones. It could be peace. It could be a peace deal with Hamas and Israel. It could be, I would assume every single thing they're saying is a lie about everything all the time.
Yeah.
Which is a weird way to go through life as a citizen.
I think that's true probably for a lot of the administration. I think for Biden himself, maybe it's closer to the truth because he doesn't have the ability to, I don't think at the current time, maintain multiple narratives.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of saying, also, why does Biden think he's a stand-up comedian or something? He talks about very serious things and he keeps thinking we're joking. He's always like, listen, the crime rate's up. People are dying. I'm not joking around. I'm not kidding around.
Hold on, I'm not done slapping my knee.
Who thinks women's rights are being taken away? It's not a joke.
No joke.
No joke, folks. Thank you for clarifying that, Mr.
2 days
President.
after what if he left office and 2 days later we found video of him right now riding a unicycle and juggling? Would our minds all just be blown like Kaiser Sosa?
Yeah.
It'd be a full non-limp Kaiser Sosa move. That'd be mind-numbing.
That would be
no
mine.
joke.
Kaiser Soze, but yes, it would be mind-numbing.
Soze, that's right.
You're confusing him with Sammy
tequila.
Sosa.
Sammy Sosa.
This whole time I've been Sammy Sosa.
Did he go the weird Michael Jackson route?
Bleached skin, I think.
He did?
Yeah. Or am I mistaking another baseball
Listen,
player?
baseball legends are turning white. It's no joke.
It's no joke,
It's
man.
no joke,
Joe,
folks.
did Sammy Sosa go full?
Not
I
joking
mean, he
around.
just went.
Whoa.
Yeah, I told you.
He's
like Mambo number 5
Whoa.
over there.
Yeah, he turned into Lou Bega.
He did, huh?
Lou's begging his doctor for some whitening cream. What the?
I've got
That's
Monica on my
interesting, yeah.
mind, folks. Not joking around.
Why would you not want to look like old Sammy Sosa? Like, I'd be like,
This
I'm
is so
fucking Sammy
weird.
Sosa. I'm getting into every bar free. I'm never going to pay for hot wings as long as I live.
Yeah.
I'll be the mayor of Chicago. I'll be the de facto mayor of Chicago for the rest of my fucking life. Instead of coming up to the bar and go, all right, homo, take your white ass out of here.
He looks horrible.
We're waiting for Sammy Sosa.
He looks horrendous. They're like, he walks in now, and they're like, Dr. Crohn's, your table is not ready.
I feel this is what, like Magic Johnson's trans son.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when society doesn't know what to do with someone, we just kind of go, we're done. We don't want to hear from you. Like, this guy is one of the biggest names in baseball, and I've never seen him pop up on anything,
Maybe he wants to try to get back into the league and set records as a white player.
Yeah.
He wants to do it both ways.
You're right. Even
Instead of both leagues, he wants to go both
had the
races.
2 finger to the heart, then up to heaven thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works in dome stadiums.
That's a strong
I never
point,
thought about
actually.
that. Does the finger point work in dome
You're
stadiums?
just pointing to the air conditioning system.
Yeah, there's a bar joist and a rafter up there.
Thank God
and
it's
just-
not
right.
hot in here.
Right. This is crazy, right?
Unbelievable. I mean, I can't think who he looks like. He looks like something, but it's really weird. Look, he looks like that guy that's like Scarface's best friend in Scarface.
Yeah.
With the bad skin, you know that guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
That burns them.
Yep. He looks like that dude a little bit.
Something's amiss.
It's really odd.
Uncanny Valley. It is.
Yeah.
It is Sammy Sosa, but it's not.
I mean, I almost don't understand what's happening.
I think that's chicks.
Looks like a Dracula kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly. He definitely will
Is
suck your
he
blood.
like married with kids and stuff?
It would be weird to be
don't
born
know.
to a black man and then your dad's white by the time you're 6.
Oh, that's right, because he's got a little. Hopefully, he
That is
knocked
weird.
up a blonde chick.
What on earth? Now they're
Yeah.
cowboys?
They definitely.
You know what is cool? He looks so unlike Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, that you don't
that
feel
he
bad.
could get the truth from anybody about Sammy Sosa. Like I can't go up
Excuse
to
me, what do you think about Sammy Sosa? I randomly asked.
Oh, fucking roided freak.
Oh,
I root
okay.
for McGuire the whole fucking time, dude.
Okay, guess what?
Yeah.
I am Sammy Sosa.
Okay, get the fuck out of here, ma'am.
You don't believe? You think I'm a man?
Take your white ass.
Okay, let's
and
get on
him
the
hell
horses and get out of here.
Yeah, just because you
Giddy
fucking
up,
wear a
baby.
cowboy
Giddy
hat.
up, baby.
That guy was juicing. He should have never got out of AAA. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm from Chicago.
The only juicing I was doing was a carafa martini. It looked like an orange juice. You mean an orange juice?
Listen, I don't know where you white ladies get this thick accent all the time, but that guy was a black guy.
I would like to speak to your manager.
Speaking of black guy, that black guy was a black guy on baseball with his fucking roids.
Okay, I
and
am
everything else.
Swiss on this because I am not him. But how dare you talk this way about formerly
Right.
dark-skinned Sammy Sosa?
I can't go up to people and go, "What do you think of Adam Carolla?" They go, either
You could in blackface.
who the fuck is Adam Carolla, or
Easy
you're
solution
Adam
for that.
Carolla.
Easy solution for that. Go
Blackface?
Soul Man style. Take those tanning pills
Yes.
from that movie Soul Man.
Yes.
Yeah. What's up with Sammy Sosa?
Yep. Hard to know. His wife looks more like he used to look.
Do you think people come up, the Sosas? Excuse me, are you Sammy
Which
Sosa?
one of you is Sammy Sosa? I have a package for Mr. Sosa.
Also, this guy's trying to make reservations in Chicago, and it's like, Sammy Sosa, table of 2. And like, well, we're fully booked tonight, but we can get Sammy Sosa. And then he comes in with his wife. Okay, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, that's like... That
He
reminds
had
me
to be turned away.
Yeah, this reminds me of a moment in my life when I was at Mel's Diner in Hollywood, and I did not know this fact about Jose Canseco, and I see Jose Canseco come out of the restroom and walk to a table and sit down with another Jose Canseco.
What?
Yeah. Apparently, Jose Canseco has an identical twin brother.
What?
And I didn't, being unaware of this
Ozzy
fact, and I'm
Canseco.
drunk at a bar, Ozzy Canseco.
Oh, okay.
And I lost my mind. My mind almost imploded. Do you understand 2 Jose Cansecos? What that would do to a young boy's mind?
You felt like you're hit on top of the head of the baseball and then it bounced over the wall to be a home run.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right, we got Duke Lacrosse from I don't know, 15 years ago or something. No. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let's see. Maybe I'll play the part where I say Duke Lacrosse.
Hey, Adolf. Got a minute?
Fighting Hitler nude.
I need answers! I got nothing! Nine!
Oh my God.
Say hello to my final solution.
Now, why? Can I ask one question? Why are you naked?
Well, you can't bring any physical, material objects into hell.
But why does Hitler have his whole uniform on then?
He was grandfathered in.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he went to hell a long time ago. There are different rules.
It looks like something else to see.
Yeah.
I look forward to. When is that coming out?
Well, we got more to see.
What do you mean?
I go back to hell.
Oh, there's
more
another.
people
We have
than
another
this.
clip of hell.
Yeah, look what I do to Osama.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, bro.
It's very homoerotic.
It was.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Nunchucks. All right. You get it. At some point, we'll find me
Duke Lacrosse.
We'll find some for another.
Gotta
show
bring
is
him
what
out
I'm
of
saying.
retirement, bro. We're going to nail it back.
I forgot how much nudity.
A lot.
Was
It's
involved,
gratuitous.
Were you wearing hopefully like a dick sock or
A
something?
thong?
Yeah, I was wearing a dick sock.
That's good.
Yeah.
The full ass out though?
No, I think I was wearing like beige panties
nude
for the
panties.
entire.
That's exciting. Same
thing.
as right now?
Well, now they're called what's called tan, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, beige, flesh tone.
Honestly, I have to hand it to ABC. You know, they're owned by Disney, and you always think that you'd have to be like. They seem to approve a lot of sketches.
Yeah,
that you would not expect.
Yeah, I don't know if they approved it or we just did it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, at some point I explained I'm Duke Lacrosse, but I don't know. So maybe at the top or.
Now, did you discuss instead of the punchline before you snap Hitler's neck instead of this is my final solution? Was it pitched to you, say hello to my little friend? You didn't want people to think you had a small penis?
Oh, yeah. I should have thought about that. So that's why we needed you doing punch up.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's give some plugs. I'm going to be in Vegas at Jimmy's Club doing stand up January 9th and in Solana Beach. Jay Moore and I are going to be there January 19th at the Belly Up. It's a fun club. It's a music club, but they do fun comedy there. Ben, well, he's got a podcast. He's got a stand-up special. The Mad King's the name of the stand-up special on YouTube as we speak. And last week on Earth with Ben Gleib as well. Get some Manuka honey from Mayhem's.
Yeah, samumanuka.com/mayhem.
It's real good stuff.
Follow me on Instagram at Ben Gleib, too. You can easily contact me.
That's right. Until next time, I'm Crow with Ben Gleib and Mayhem Miller saying... Mahala.